Welcome to our daily devotional video series, Spirit 23. Jesus says, "Where two or three are gathered in my name, so shall I be there among them." This brief video devotional is a ministry of Trinity United Methodist Church in Seymour, Indiana. My name is Mary Ellen. Today we will be sharing devotions from Book 1 of The Chosen. At the end of each devotional, we will offer 3 questions that you can reflect on during the day. Please feel free to share your prayer requests in the comments below. We have an amazing team of prayer warriors. Today's devotional is titled, Rise. When Jesus returned to Capernaum after some days, it was reported that he was at home, and many were gathered together so that there was no more room, not even at the door. And he was preaching the word to them. And they came, bringing to him a paralytic carried by 4 men. And when they could not get near him because of the crowd, they removed the roof above him. And when they had made an opening, they let down the bed on which the paralytic laid. And when Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Mark 2, 1-5. What a wild scene. There was such a mob at the house where Jesus was staying that latecomers couldn't get in, let alone be healed. Here was a guy paralyzed and strapped to a stretcher, and the people wouldn't make way. Tough crowd. They didn't even clear a path when they saw the men dragging him onto the roof. A task that couldn't have been quick or smooth. When they finally made it up, they began hacking away at the straw and mud. Jump cut to inside the house. People surrounded Jesus while he preached and healed, but they were interrupted by the sounds of footsteps dragging and digging above them. And then chunks of the roof fell to the floor and probably on the heads of many in the room. But it worked. Jesus was moved by the faith that drove them to such heights, and he forgave the paralytic. Wait, thanks, Jesus, but when we decided to scale the walls of this house, we were hoping for a real miracle, something along the lines of rise and walk. At least that's how it usually works. We go to Jesus with our own ideas about what he should do for us, and we're disappointed when he doesn't stick to the script. But it's often in the unexpected that Jesus does his best work. Now, some of the scribes were sitting there questioning in their hearts, "Why does this man speak like that? He is blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" And immediately Jesus, perceiving in his spirit that they questioned within themselves, said to them, "Why do you question these things in your hearts? Which is easier to say to the paralytic, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Rise, take up your bed and walk'? But that you may know the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he said to the paralytic, "I say to you, rise, pick up your bed, and go home." And he rose and immediately picked up his bed and went out before them all, so that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, "We never saw anything like this." Mark 2, 6-12. Christ's mission was to save souls, and healing was useful in demonstrating his power to do that. But it wasn't the mission. Healing displayed his compassion, love, and desire to restore, but it paled in comparison to his true purpose to rescue and raise lost souls. Of course, Jesus was able to discern the genuine faith of the men on the roof, along with the lack of faith of the crowd in the room. He exposed their thoughts, also a miracle, and announced his power to both heal and forgive. Since forgiveness is necessary to have a restored relationship with God and thus spend eternity with him, Jesus was offering something far better than healing. So for the man who entered the room through the roof, walking was hopefully just the beginning of a lifetime spent following hard after the one who forgave him. So that you may know I have the power to forgive, rise and walk. Of course, he did rise and walk, and at this time, probably through the front door. Our prayer focus: thank God for forgiving your sins, and then ask Him to give you the same kind of reckless faith and passion as the friends of the paralytic. And our questions for the day: in order to take such extreme measures, what must the 4 men carrying their friend have believed about Jesus? What keeps you from pursuing Jesus with that kind of passion? And if you struggle to value spiritual growth over material, list 3 to 5 reasons spiritual growth matters more. Thank you for joining us today, and we'd like to ask you to join us at church at 10 a.m. on Sundays at Trinity United Methodist Church.